What's going on, everyone? DeBears here with another build video, and with the recent announcement of another 20% buff to Nova Warp, which is my favorite super, I figured I would put out a build for this for next season, hoping that it's going to be great. So, at least for the weapons standpoint, this isn't totally my finished product yet, because I haven't been able to get the weapon that I really want, but so you can get this Lodbrok with Osmosis and Adrenaline Junkie, which would be really great for this build, but I just blew 90 engrams on it and only got this. So eventually, hopefully I'll get it, but that's primarily what you would want, is something with Osmosis and Adrenaline Junkie there. And I have Choir of One here just because it's great and it's void. And for the last slot, you can either use this Faith Keeper, which I have Explosive Light and Autoloading Holster, or I switch between a Hammerhead as well with Target Lock. Envious is the role that I have. And you could also use Edge Transit with it, just as long as it's void. It'll synergize really well with this build. So whatever you want in that heavy slot. Those are the three that I've kind of been swapping around with. But primarily, if you can get this weapon with Osmosis and Adrenaline Junkie, that would be awesome. So let's head over to the mods. Well, we got the same three I usually have for the class item. Legs, we got 2 Void Weapon Surges and a Recuperation, since we're using all Void Weapons. And with the Osmosis here, this makes this a Void Weapon, and since we'll be using our grenade most of the time, this will be Void, so it'll take advantage of all these. And for the chest armor, we got Harmonic Reserve, since we're on a Void subclass. We got Void ammo for everything else. You can put these resistance mods to whatever you're doing, whatever you need. The last thing I was doing was Encore, so I had to void resistance mods on for the boss. And for the arms, we got Harmonic Loader, so all those weapons can take advantage of this. And since we'll be using our grenade a lot, you can use 2 firepower mods here. And for the helmet, I usually switch between 2 power preservations if I'm playing with people, or 2 ashes to assets if I'm just playing by myself, which for this purpose I will switch to that. Now, your gameplay loop is pretty simple. You'll just be... Let's just take this guy out first. As you can see, this reload speed is terrible right now. But if you got that, then it makes that void. Then you can start taking advantage of all the void synergy. And ideally, if you have that with Adrenaline Junkie, then you would get a nice damage boost for a little bit from that. But if you don't have it, like I don't, then it'll just still be good. It just won't be perfect. And there we go. Pretty simple. Nothing crazy. That's all there is to it. Now let's check out the subclass. For last, of course, we got Nova Warp, Healing Rift. And if you're really not comfortable using Blink, don't use it. We're taking advantage of Astrocyte Verse here with the Blink, and also the weapons ready quickly out of Blink. Radar remains up, while in the Nova Warp, the Dark Blink doesn't cost super energy, which is really nice. But primarily, use Blink if you want. If you're not comfortable using it, just use another jump and take advantage of that exotic during the super. Now, because we're using Chaos Accelerant, I have Magnetic Grenade on, because we can see here with the Magnetic Grenade we can release a short-range Void Blast, and the cooldown is reduced if we have Chaos Accelerant available, and that was that one ability I did right here. Does a pretty good amount of damage, and it comes back really quickly, especially with Devour procced, which is what Feed the Void is for. Now let's head over to the fragments. We got Void ability, Final Blows cause targets to explode. It's always a really good one to have, especially with all of our volatile we'll be spreading to all the enemies. Void grenades weaken targets. It's always a great one to have. Echo of Cessation, we got Finisher, Final Blows, create a burst of void damage that cause enemies to be volatile, and defeating volatile targets creates the Void Breach, which is really nice. And we get defeating targets with grenades grant volatile rounds with your void weapons, which that's primarily what I want that Osmosis and Adrenaline Junkie for. So when we proc our grenade, change this to a void weapon, and hopefully get a kill, then we could really take advantage of Adrenaline Junkie. But for now, this is what I'll have to use. But that is it. It's nothing too crazy. Just a kind of ad clearing type super. But I think it's really, really fun. And I mean, you probably won't be using it in any hard content. But if you like Nova Warp, give this a shot. I'll catch everyone in the next one.